The 2025 Bahrain Grand Prix seemed like the start of a storm for Gabriel Bortoleto. Finishing in 18th place, facing criticism on social media, and being labeled a disappointment by some fans, placed the Brazilian in a tense situation. But while the public was divided between harsh criticism and rushed analysis, a big name within Formula One made a statement that turned everything upside down. Beat Zender, the director of programs at Sauber and one of the most experienced figures in the paddock, publicly praised Bortoleto's work and even went as far as comparing his work ethic to that of Charles Leclerc, currently a Ferrari driver. That's right. According to Zender, Bortoleto shows the same level of dedication, presence behind the scenes, commitment to the engineers, and transparency that Leclerc displayed when he debuted with Alfa Romeo. So, the question arises: how can someone who's been bombarded with public criticism at the same time be recognized behind the scenes as an elite name in Formula One? In this video, we're going to break down this unexpected turnaround and show you how what happens inside the paddock often says much more than the comments on the internet. If you want to understand what's really behind the name Bortoleto, stay until the end, because there's a lot happening away from the cameras. Zender's statement wasn't thrown around lightly. Anyone who knows the inner workings of Formula One knows that he doesn't exaggerate. With decades of experience in the paddock, Zender has seen drivers come and go without leaving a trace. So when he compares someone to Charles Leclerc, it's because he sees something real. And in Bortoleto's case, what caught the Sauber director's attention the most was his attitude off the track. According to Zender, Gabriel is extremely transparent with the team, self-critical of his own mistakes, and involved in the technical aspects of the team. He doesn't disappear after bad races, doesn't shy away from responsibility, and, most importantly, doesn't place all the blame on the car, even when the car is clearly one of the main culprits. He spends hours with the engineers, discusses data, questions decisions, and seeks to understand why each failure occurred. This mentality, according to Zender, is identical to what Leclerc showed in his first months at Alfa Romeo. The comparison isn't about pure speed or raw talent, but about professional character, long-term vision, and the obsession with understanding everything that involves performance. Bortoleto is slowly showing that he's not in Formula One just for the spotlight. He's there to learn, evolve, and, if Sauber gives him the necessary conditions, deliver more than expected from him. On the one hand, Bortoleto has earned respect within the team for his professional attitude. On the other, he's not afraid to publicly demand more when he feels the limit has been crossed. And that's exactly what happened in the Bahrain Grand Prix. After finishing the race in 18th, the Brazilian didn't hold back. Races like this can't happen. They are unacceptable. His frustration was clear, and it wasn't a speech from someone trying to find blame, but from someone trying to speed up a process that seems stuck. Bortoleto knows that Sauber's car has serious limitations, but what bothers him the most is the lack of immediate prospects for improvement. He himself admitted that the team has no technical upgrades planned for the next race, making it even harder to achieve different results. This type of outburst shows a driver who's not complacent with the situation, and more importantly, not willing to spend an entire year at the back of the grid without reacting. He made it clear that he's not there to accept the situation as it is, but to try to change it, even if it means starting to pressure the very structure that hired him. This demand from a rookie reveals something important. The kid has a voice, and he doesn't intend to use it just to thank people. While most fans judge a driver by their final seconds on the stopwatch, teams see much more. And that's where one of the biggest contrasts of the moment comes into play. Bortoleto has been criticized by those watching and praised by those working with him every day. This difference in perception has a simple and revealing explanation. The public saw Bortoleto finish 18th in Bahrain, had access to only a few frames of him during the race, heard he finished behind Hülkenberg, and that was it. Judgment made. But behind the scenes, the conversation is different. People observe the way he works with the engineers, how he identifies problems before the data even points them out, and the consistency with which he positions himself in technical meetings. This doesn't appear on screen, but it weighs heavily inside the team. It's like comparing a painting by only looking at the frame. The most valuable part of the driver is in the details that the public hasn't had time to notice yet. And Zender, with all his experience, has already seen this film before with Leclerc. The difference is that back then, the Frenchman faced less external pressure. Bortoleto, on the other hand, carries the label of Brazilian driver in Formula One, and with it comes an unfair, impatient, and often disconnected demand from the reality within the pits. When Beat Zender placed Gabriel Bortoleto on the same level as Charles Leclerc in terms of work ethic, many people on social media raised their eyebrows. After all, Leclerc is one of Ferrari's top names now. But what this comparison represents is not a direct performance equivalence, but a comparison of growth. Zender knows well the path a talent must take to reach the top. He was a key figure behind the scenes when Leclerc emerged at Alfa Romeo. And now, observing Bortoleto, he sees similar traits, not in pure speed, but in behavior behind the scenes, leadership potential despite being a rookie, above average technical involvement, and dedication to understanding everything surrounding the car. Today's Formula One is not just made of raw talent. The best drivers are those who know how to lead a team, interpret data, communicate with engineers, and turn feedback into practical results. And that's exactly what Bortoleto has been showing since he arrived. Zender knows that the Brazilian still needs time, equipment, and consistency to show his full potential. But he also knows how to recognize when someone has the solid foundation to get there. When someone like him points out this similarity, it's not a gratuitous compliment. It's a warning. Look more closely, because something special is in the making. The truth is, Gabriel Bortoleto may not have any points in the championship yet, but he's already achieved something that many drivers take years to reach: respect within Formula One. This doesn't show up on the scoreboard or in the race broadcast, but it's present in the words of engineers, in team meetings, and as we saw in public statements from figures like Beat Zender. This type of recognition, when well managed, opens important doors for the future. Teams look beyond the points, they evaluate maturity, the ability to evolve, and, most importantly, how much a driver can grow, even in a limited environment. And that's exactly what Gabriel has been doing. But the challenge now is emotional. Bortoleto will need to continue delivering this level of commitment, even if the results don't come immediately. He will have to cope with shallow criticisms, unfair comparisons, and exaggerated pressure, all while trying to extract milliseconds from a car that still can't deliver half a second. If he maintains his attitude, the fruits will come. Not because luck will change, but because the constant work, intelligent race reading, and trust within the team are being built with patience and purpose. The comparison with Leclerc is just the beginning. If Sauber's project doesn't take off, other doors will open. Talent with consistency never goes unnoticed.